Uh, I have trouble pushing a button and getting through the door. I have arthritis and it's really acting up. It's getting to be winter here where I live in Missouri. So I did something, and we'll see what I did once we get through this door. These are all repeaters. If you click them with your right click, it sets the interval longer. I believe the interval is 1/10 of a second. But if you're used to darting through the doors because you can just off a simple push button next to it, then you understand how much longer that interval actually is. What I did have was a regular switch here like I have in my house. When the villagers have kids, they are of a height that looks like they'll fit through those, and I don't want them to bugger off through this airlock and get out of here. So that's why I went to push buttons, and I'm not coordinated or quick enough to get through them. And so I developed this, and if you're not coordinated or quick, well, it's not a bad little system. But all you do is you run a wire and around. And the obsidian is just a thing about creepers. If they blow all this out, at least I've got all this, and the door will hold. Which I like the look of sandstone, and the stuff's like tissue to a blast. This would all make more sense if I'd put in obsidian, but I'm not going to fight anything here, so to hell with that. Okay, this one's even longer because we had a little more room. I tend not to plan things out in detail. I just fiddle with them until they work. And I got stuck, see? Come on, you can do it. There we go. Made all the cats be ceramic. Speaking of which, we should kick the sound back up. Couple of things over here. It's no big deal. This is odds and ends. I'm not ready to play in that yet. We'll get to that. I didn't set it up yet. This is a series of timers. You take a bunch of repeaters, you set them at different levels. Mathematically, you can figure out what the time is. This is a different set differently. You see that light down there? This is what these are triggering, and they're a timer. And it was set up not to trigger a light, but to trigger a thing that goes round and round and round in a minecart and finally releases you with incredible momentum so you can go all the way up to the sky. Now, I haven't built that yet, but this is how you get out of the little circle that builds the momentum, or a timer way. I had a physical timer based on a falling minecart on a pressure plate, and it had a tendency to just dog up. Now, I did not mathematically figure any of this out. I just threw it down to see if it would work for me, if I could, fiddle with it till it works. And it was turning on that light every 4 seconds and then every 22 seconds. Let's say it was turning on that light at 4 and then at 22 seconds and then at 4, at 22, etc. Okay. And what we have over here is a setup, and I don't remember. I guess I think it's a NOT gate. But if an AND gate is when they're both on, you get power, then this is a NOT gate. They both have to be off for us to get power. And so both those little timers have to synchronize, and they're slightly out of tune with each other. Or I guess both of them, they have to synchronize in both being off. But there's a video out there somewhere that I took this from, and obviously I apologize to whoever made it, or it may have been made a dozen times by now. But I don't remember, or I would certainly give you credit for it. Okay, this is the sugar cane. You saw what I do with paper in there. This was the kids' idea. The thing about this is you don't build anything and you don't plant anything. Just run along, whack all your sugar cane, and then you go harvest it all. And that's not our purpose at this point. I'm just showing you this. However, I'm not going to leave it here to just disappear. Okay, the water is of the right length to push the sugar cane to the end of each of these rows. On the center, where there's a dead spot, we have lily pads, so you go hippity hop down each side on the end, and then you go down the middle and you pick up all your stuff. And that's about all there is to it. There's nothing to replant. That's what I like. You don't obviously get all of it, but if you're replanting, you don't get all of it anyway. Another thing I had over here, and I should have shown you that first. Tell you what, I'm going to cut this chunk out, and I'll show you that right now. We'll do it after I do this. Okay, infinite water, everybody knows about that. This is an automatic sugar cane, and I've never made automatic farms. I'd probably convert this to what that other one is, but it was cute. In Wiki, it said that dispensers, if you put a bucket in them, suck up or put out water. And that was absolutely new to me. It may be old hat to everybody watching that. So anyway, here's a bunch of, and we've reached the 15, I believe, limit on length of hot wire and thrown in a repeater. So here we have all these dispensers squirting out water. Now, once upon a time with sugarcane, as soon as it didn't have water, it all popped. So I was kind of startled when you'll see what happens here. Alright, now we turned off all the water. What's happened is all these have slurped up their water. And what else you could do with this, I don't know, but there's always stuff. But you notice none of the sugarcane popped. It was like, well, what in the hell? And you can do this at that end, and I think it only pops the first ones. But if you do it right there, everybody pops. It's a pop party. The other option, and I found this out just by doing it, was if you turn back on the water. Well, yeah, there it goes. It all pops, except for that obtuse bit over there that doesn't feel like it yet. So let's turn off the water. But there's probably 50 videos showing this. I don't know. I didn't actually find one. I thought of this on, it's whatever it is, independent develop. It's where two people have the same idea at the same time. And there's an actually very short way to say that. I'll bet I'm full. Anyway, I threw that stuff in the chest. I don't need any of this. I just kind of wanted to show it to you. Turn the water back on, and then you replant. Now, I think the other is quicker. And that's one reason I haven't done automatic farms, although I'm sure somebody's built ones where, I don't know, maybe they replant themselves. I don't know. But I never, there was, for me, I had whatever it was we did with books. I guess we just made bookshelves for decoration. But once you'd done that, what the hell did you need paper for? There weren't maps when I stopped playing before, and there weren't villagers, so that was pretty much the end of the paper story. You could I grew some in Primus. That's the roller coaster world for decoration. And we're headed back to show you the other dispenser thing. This is some dickweed I planted. I had thought it only grew in the dark, and it only grew in the nether, and I was totally wrong. I somehow managed to misread that wiki thing. And that's why if you see something in my video and it doesn't work, by golly, you need to rethink and read and go, whoa, that Mr. GM View really screwed that up. Okay, this is another thing that these do that I didn't know about, and it also may be old hat. But you can have them poop out mine carts for you. Let me get the right angle on this sucker here. There we go, mine cart. And it's a bitch. Normally I put that switch there, and there's, you've seen my switches. Usually they're about there, only next to the track. And it was a bitch getting that switch where it has to be so you can hit it. So you have to kind of play with that. Or be smart and look it up and do it right the first time. And off we go. And this just goes to my spawn point. We could do that. It won't hurt anything except it's nighttime and there's no bed there. If you've seen my hardcore videos, you know I spawned in the jungle, and that's one reason I am not fond of the jungle. And we can go right back. Well, not if we don't hit the button, we can't. Off we go. If you have your bed and you sleep in it in your house, if you die, you'll respawn in your house. If you've been out working somewhere and you throw down a bed so you can have light while you're working, you'll respawn at your spawn point, or that has been my experience. And then you got to run your ass back over here to save all your stuff. I don't have these at all my little railroad things. If you watched, I don't know. I don't think I've done any railroady stuff. But it was cute, and I was going to show it to the kids, so here it is. And I don't know. I think you can grab the card out of the box, and it's about the same deal. As long as we're here, well, it's nighttime. We'll do that another time. Do a close-up of the sheep and all that kind of stuff. But you know, sheep is kind of sheep, and cows is cows, and chickens chickens. I put a jukebox out here so I've got some good records, so I could listen to music while I'm doing that. All these pins are airlocked. That means they've got 2 gates, so not too much stuff gets out. This is what's driving me nuts in hardcore. I can't even come over here and breathe without being up to my ass in chickens, eggs. And there I can't get one damn second chicken out of an egg, so. But that's probably my philosophical problem. Probably round this up unless I think of something, and if I do, I'll throw it in after, I'll just tack it on somewhere at the end. Thanks for watching me. It's been a gas. This is the modern world that I've done the most with, so here it is. Thanks.